Yes, Washington is the West. Many towns have rodeos.
We're well on our way east as we prepare to enter Idaho. About a month ago, we were heading west, crossing the southern plains of Idaho from Alpine, Wyoming to Nysa, Oregon, generally following the Snake River, with an awesome side trip to Craters of the Moon National Monument and the Bruneau State Park sand dunes. And in 2021, we traveled through the central part of the Idaho Panhandle, from Lewiston to Lolo Pass. To make our travels through Idaho more complete, our chosen route this time is the northern tip of the Idaho Panhandle, from Newport, Washington to just north of Bonners Ferry, and taking U.S. Highway 2 to Montana. It turns out we'll be driving U.S. Highway 2 all the way to Minot, North Dakota. Let's see what the northern section of this rugged and beautiful state has to offer. Our first stop to highlight is the town of Sandpoint, located in Bonner County, Idaho. Sandpoint has about 9,000 residents and is well known for its natural surroundings, encouraging tourism and recreation. It's located on the shores of Idaho's largest lake, the 43-mile-long Lake Pend Oreille. Despite the pending weather forecasted as we head further east into the Montana mountains, today's weather is perfect. We head over to the Sandpoint City Beach Park. We pull up into a parking spot, and as we do, we are greeted by what looks like a replica of the Mayflower. Well, anyway, it kind of looks like that. There is a walkway that invites us on a short loop of the park. We experience beautiful views past the distant lake shores. We walk along a nice white sandy beach, observe many boat ramps and a clubhouse with what looks like to be an outdoor restaurant of some kind. We make our lunch in the van, but we do head into town for a look around and an afternoon treat. Pastries and coffee are definitely in order as we stop in at the Bluebird Bakery. For such a small town, Sandpoint has a lot to offer. Perhaps a bit touristy, but the mountains and lake setting are terrific. We both wonder what it would be like to live here, especially in the winter.
Beautiful northern Idaho. We just stopped at a coffee shop bakery. Equestrian Center.
Our route continues north from Sandpoint, across the Kootenay River. We've reached the northernmost part of our journey, where US Highway 2 splits from US Highway 95. We're less than 20 miles from the Canadian border at the junction. We pass through lush valleys and pasture lands. A beautiful day for traveling. Occasional blue skies and fluffy white clouds. At Moyie Springs, we cross over a tributary of the Kootenay. The views of the Moyie River Canyon are definitely worth the stop. A few miles past Moyie Springs is the border crossing into Montana. Interestingly, we are at the lowest point in the state of Montana, only 1,810 feet above sea level. The high country of the Rockies are just ahead. We're following the Kootenay River for the next 30 miles or so, with distant views of the Purcell mountain range. Along the way, we pass through the town of Troy and then Libby, where we part ways with the Kootenay River. At the town of Libby, the Kootenay flows in directly from the north, across the Canadian border in British Columbia. This route is definitely less traveled. Beautiful winding roads, great views await us around each bend. We'll never get tired of these mountain adventures. Our day ends at Logan State Park, located on the north shore of Middle Thompson Lake. We're surrounded by deep woods of western larch, Douglas fir, and ponderosa pine.
There's a whole bunch of them.
This park is actually part of the larger Thompson Chain of Lakes State Park. Currently, we're at an elevation of over 3,300 feet. A building overcast sky greets us the following morning as we break camp and head on down the road.
We're leaving Logan State Park in Montana. A little rainy this morning.
Our route continues along US Highway 2. We're heading to the towns of Kalispell and then Columbia, which is located just west of Glacier National Park. You'll recall we've been monitoring the weather forecast over many days now. So far, the forecasted winter-like weather is holding off, but nevertheless we plan to get to the east side of Glacier and thus the Rocky Mountains before the end of the day.
A lot of salmon fishing out there. Some blue sky up there a little bit.
We anticipate having to stay put a couple of days on the other side of Glacier National Park to wait out the heavy winds, rain, and cold weather. We reach the town of Hungry Horse and then climb alongside Glacier's mountains to our left.
Looks like there's still snow up in those big mountains.
Oh, yeah.
In another 10 miles, we'll reach the town of West Glacier. That's where the famous Going to the Sun Road starts, going through the heart of the park, up and over Logan Pass at over 6,600 feet of elevation, and then winds its way to the town of St. Mary on the other side of the park. In a previous trip, we traveled on a Going to the Sun Road from east to west, a real treat for the senses. We'll stay on Highway 2, following the middle fork of the Flathead River. Then follow alongside Bear Creek to cross the Continental Divide at Marias Pass. The weather remains iffy, but the ride is uneventful. Despite the overcast and drizzle, the ride is smooth and we soak in the scenery.
Oh, here, Middle Fork and into Flathead. Glacier National Park.
Where Bear Creek joins the Flathead, we stop for lunch, stretch our legs, and stand alongside rushing mountain streams. That's where right there at the falls is where it's entering the Flathead River. Let's walk over there.
At first I was kind of confused.
Well, that's the Flathead. This is the whatever creek is. Yeah.
Bear Creek. Okay, I said it in the video so you know where it's at.
Once we get over the pass, we are shocked to see clearing skies. Given the pending weather forecast of rain, snow, and 60+ mile-per-hour winds, we're wondering if we have been listening to the wrong weather forecast. We planned on staying outside the park in the town of Browning, but with the weather clearing, we decided to head into the park and check out the Two Medicine campground. There just might be a spot open for us to set up camp for tonight.
Whoa, what a view. And that's the lodge. Wow.
Here's our lodge. And here's the Amtrak station. Alright, I'm going to park over here. Hey, there's one of those buses, man. We spend a little time visiting East Glacier, get camping information from the ranger at the lodge, and then head into the park. From East Glacier, it's a short drive into the park. We hope to stop in for a short hike, get some photos, and then head over to the campground. The road over to Two Medicine Lake and the campground is awesome. Certainly not as well visited as other parts of the park, but beautiful mountain scenery nonetheless, and no crowds. our surprise, we found the camp almost completely empty. It looked like we would have our pick of campsites. We check in at the ranger station to pay, but that's as far as the conversation went. The ranger said that they would be glad to check us in, but here it comes. For us to please be aware of the extreme conditions expected for the evening. Rain, then snow, along with 60+ mile-per-hour winds coming off the mountains to our west. They strongly recommended that we leave the park soon, head back down the mountain, and back into town. Well, we backtracked, and to make a long story short, we ended up going quite a bit further away from the mountains, about 40 miles east of East Glacier, to the town of Cutbank, where we holed up for the next 2 days. It's been quite a ride through eastern Washington, through Idaho and Montana, and over the Continental Divide, in the Rockies, over to Glacier.
We're stuck at this little RV park just outside of Glacier. It's raining, the wind's gusting. We're expecting 60, 70 mile an hour winds. We're not going outside.
A 2-day stay. Despite the weather, that has a nice ring to it. Time to break out a new deck of cards and kick back a bit. We'll see you on the next episode on These Roads Less Traveled.